Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Wednesday, October 22, 2025. And in the news this afternoon, St. Anne man freed of gun and ammo charges. A man was set free in the St. Anne Circuit Court on Tuesday, 6 years after being charged with illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm within 40 yards of a public place. The Crown made a no evidence submission in relation to all the charges brought against Alair Franklin. The allegations were that in October 2019, Franklin was at a community shop within the parish when he took out a firearm and fired onto the shop floor. It is reported that he was subsequently attacked and beaten by other occupants of the shop and residents of the community before the police were summoned. When the cops arrived, the firearm was handed over by a resident and Franklin was taken into custody. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. On Tuesday, the court heard that since Franklin's arrest, the resident who allegedly handed over the firearm to the police was never located to appear as a witness in court, and the officer assigned to the case had resigned from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. January trial for teacher accused of collecting $3.5 million from student. Literature teacher Kimberly Bailey Allen is set to appear in the St. Anne Parish Court on January 9, 2026 for trial. She is before the court for allegedly collecting $3.5 million from a Chinese student she was tutoring to sit Caribbean Examination Council exams. Bailey Ann, a resident of Cambridge in St. James, pleaded not guilty to the charge of obtaining money by false pretenses during her first court appearance in September. The court heard then that the 15-year-old female student and Bailey Allen had arrangements for private tutoring. The teacher knows the accused from a private school she attends in Montego Bay. The allegations are that Bailey Allen informed the student that the funds were required as part of the standard procedure to sit the CXC exams. The court was told that between April and July this year, the student took $3.5 million in cash from her parents without their knowledge and gave it to the teacher. After her parents realized that the funds were missing, the teenage girl told them she had given it to her teacher as a fee to sit the exam, the court was told. The court is still gathering evidence to aid in its decision for trial. TikTok car sale turns sour. What started as a seemingly simple online car deal took a costly twist for St. James resident Jermaine Stewart. He entered a guilty plea when he appeared in the parish court last Wednesday, facing charges of fraudulent conversion. Court records show that in May, the complainant looking to buy a car connected with Stewart via TikTok, where he was advertising a vehicle for sale. They agreed on $1,050,000 for a 2020 Toyota CHR said to be at a Kingston wharf. The payments came in stages. An initial down payment of $40,000 was made on June 25, followed by $441,000 and US $1,840 on June 29 as part payment. On July 1, Stewart claimed the car's battery was faulty, prompting the complainant to send an additional $10,000. Despite these payments, the promised vehicle never appeared. Stewart later informed the complainant that he had sold the car to someone else. When he failed to return the funds, she reported the matter to the police. This resulted in Stewart's arrest and the subsequent charge. In court, Stewart claimed that he had intended to refund the money but ran into difficulties doing so. Presiding Judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton ordered a social inquiry report as well as Stewart's criminal records and remanded him in custody. Stewart is scheduled for sentencing on November 26, 2025. Booze-fueled fury lands a man in court. An outburst of booze-fueled fury nearly landed a 60-year-old man behind the bars, but a suspended sentence gave him a lifeline when he appeared before the St. James Parish Court last Wednesday. Anthony Allen appeared before Judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton, charged with malicious destruction of property after an incident that left his mother distressed and her property damaged. Court documents revealed that on August 27, around 4:30 p.m., Allen, reportedly drunk, was heard cursing people on the road before storming into his mother's Capitol Heights St. James home and chopping up her dining table. Despite pleas from the complainant, who urged, "No mash up me flowers," Allen continued, causing damage estimated at $45,000. His mother also told the court that Allen had threatened her during the outburst and that such a destructive behavior was not a one-time event. She said it was his custom to damage things inside her home whenever he is drunk. Allen then begged Justice Fairclough Hilton to give him a chance, saying, "I probably won't live to come out of prison because I am sickly." The judge then advised Allen's mother, "I know you don't want me to send him to prison, but I need to send a message to him. He needs to know that he cannot behave like that." Turning to Allen, the judge issued a stern warning. "Don't take up what you can't manage. If you cannot manage liquor, leave it alone." While acknowledging Allen's health concerns, the judge emphasized that a message had to be sent that such conduct was unacceptable. Allen was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, but the term was suspended for 3 years with 2 years of supervision, giving him a chance but under close watch. Security guards protest for unpaid money. Former and current employees of Quest Security Services Limited protested outside the company's corporate area office yesterday, demanding money they say is owed to them after the entity lost the Kingston Wharves contract. Shalana Klahar, who said she would have celebrated 3 years at the company on October 29, said she is now out of a job and a patient. "All I need is my money. They're not paying us the money. That is the problem we are having," Klahar told the news. "I move on. Some of them still have faith in Quest. We don't have no faith in them." Klahar said she found out about the discontinued contract through chatter and sus, and that communication subsequently broke down completely. "They don't talk to nobody. They might hide out everybody. Even when I brought in my uniform and resignation letter, the lady just said that's all." Klahar said she is owed more than $200,000. The rest of officers, uno come out and defend uno money. Nobody can stop uno because we work hard for we money. Working at Kingston Wharves is not easy. None of us can wear nice slippers because steel toe mash up with foot, she said, explaining that she often worked Sunday to Sunday, taking on extra shifts to make ends meet. "Me not stop until me get my money. My co-worker leave her sick daughter to be out here protesting. One get noticed because she can't pay her rent. Quest need to pay we now," Klahar said. The guards say the company's Kingston Wharves contract ended on September 30, but some officers were still being sent to work after that. "Some of us cross over, and some of them sit down same way because them Quest tell them say them have location for them," one protester claimed. "We still can't get we money and have we a work same way. Double shifts and triple shifts till people foot swell like jackfruit." When contacted, Emma Gibbs, director of operations at Quest, told the news that the company is following proper procedures. "I'm sure they will be paid. You know there's due process to be done. The officers signed their contracts of employment and they need to respect that due process and allow the system to work," Gibbs said. "I'm sure if the company owes that many money, the company will pay them." She also denied that Quest kept employees in the dark about the loss of the Kingston Wharves contract. That's not the case and it could never be the case. Quest Security did not terminate any contract employment with any security officer concerning that situation, so no jobs were lost, she said. Gibbs added that management has met with the officers individually. "As I had said before, due process was carried out, and to my knowledge, the situation, or whatever grievance is they believe they have, has been resolved," she stated. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.